So I got a cousin, right? Young, single motherfucker. And he's talking about if you need to read a book on a relationship, you must not be good at relationships, right? But he's young, he's single, he thinks he's on top of the world. How do I know this? Because when I was that young, I also thought the same way. I thought I was fucking invincible. And like, it's good to have that kind of level of self-belief, but at the same time, having that arrogance that you know everything, even though you're like 18, 19, 20, 21, it's just dumb as fuck. So this is a lesson for investing in your relationship, for example, right? So let's just say you meet a beautiful young woman, or if you're a girl, if you meet a handsome, dashing young man, just like whoever you want to think about, and then you just fall in love. You just start going on dates, etc. You go out, go on holidays, all these different good stuff. You get married, maybe have kids with this person, and all of a sudden you're like 7, 8, 10 years in, and you start feeling like hate it. Not hate, but like irritation towards this person, or like annoyance towards this person, right? And all relationships have these like up and down kind of like patterns, right? But at the same time, I guarantee 99+% of people don't invest in their relationship, like knowledge base. They just think, oh yeah, men and women supposed to go together, fantastic, happens. But if you look at the stats, it's like 50% of people are getting divorced worldwide. That's a fucking outrageous stat, right? So it's clear that there's something that is missing in the knowledge front that could that if implemented could avoid all of these things happening in the first place, right? So it could be from the jump, choosing, meeting, even like securing your relationship in the first place, or it could be at a stage when you were later in your marriage and things are starting to crumble. You can kind of feel the beginning of the end, for example, right? So remedies to this could be just picking up a book about how to salvage your marriage or your relationship, or if you're new to the game, if you're a guy, books like Models by Mark Manson, which is all about how to meet women. If you never met women out there, it's a fantastic book to get started with. Or how about The Way of the Superior Man by David Data to level up your masculine energy? Or how about Dear Lover by David Data, another book that is more focused on the female and how to well, that's more about the female. It's like the opposite of The Way of the Superior Man, in my opinion. Or there's other books like How the Female Brain Works and How the Male Brain Works. I can't remember the author right now. But all these different books exist, right? So it's just a matter of you deciding to get better at a relationship and invest in the relationship and learn and how you can support your partner better, how you can be better in the relationship together. And by just doing that, if you read one book on the matter, right, you would be better than, your relationship will be better than 99% of most people's relationships out there. Like, you probably heard this stat: if you read one book on sales, you're ahead of 95% of the competition who's never read that book. They've just gone, done the same job. But if you just learn one book from a master salesman, for example, and implemented that, you are ahead of the pack by 95%. That's crazy, right? So the same thing could be said for relationships. So if you read a few books on relationships, how the female brain works, if you're a guy, for example, and how to flirt, what about body language, what about like escalation, what about like how to build intimacy, how to build attraction, all these different things, how to bring out the confidence in your partner, for example, right? All these things can be learned through books and such mediums of knowledge. So it's just a matter of you going out there, getting that. And then now think about this, right? So you've never met anyone, or you've like had a few relationships, whatever, but you're back to the single base, right? Imagine getting back into the game when you have this knowledge under your wing, in your mind. So you had these relationships without this knowledge, but now you've got this newfound knowledge that's gonna, imagine what that's gonna do to elevate you in terms of finding the next partner. Your next partner will be just fucking incredible. You can't even fathom what your next partner will be, because you're coming in from such a stronger stance. Like, you have more knowledge in your bank, and you're like, I don't need this like toxic shit. I can pick up on these red flags so quickly because I've learned a little bit. Now I don't have to go for this girl or guy. I can literally filter. I can have more self-respect for myself. I can say no in a great way to kind of push the toxic people aside and have more warmth and openness for a loving green flag kind of person. So this is all possible through knowledge, but if you don't invest in your knowledge, then how do you expect to get any better? So like I was saying to my cousin, like, he's young, he thinks he knows everything. I was there. I always liked chirps and girls back when I was 18, 19, all at uni and stuff like that. But also I was fucking failing miserably at the same time. And if I did get lucky, then I didn't know what I was doing to kind of replicate it, to have it replicated again, or like to, really understand how I got there in that situation, whether it was a one night stand or like a little bit of a long-term relationship, right? I didn't really know. I was just like throwing shit at a wall. Something would stick. She would like me. I would like kind of like her, and then just carry on from there, right? That's what most people in relationships are, and then they end up living a life like that, and then end up 50% of people with divorce down the line. Do you see what I mean? This is where the whole process starts from. If you just get better at the beginning, you can pick someone better from the jump, and then you don't have that risk of divorce or relationship breakdown later on when the kids are there, for example, right? So the main message from this video is invest in the things you want to get better at, and your whole life in that area will just elevate. The quality of it will just elevate. Anyway, that being said, I hope that helps. Do whatever you want to do. Make yourself proud. I'll see you in the next video.